Hi everybody, this is Boog-ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Walmart exclusive Batman Year 1 and Lieutenant James Gordon figures. So before we take a look at Lieutenant James Gordon, let's go ahead and take a look at Year 1 Batman and his accessories. So first up, he comes with your standard DC Multiverse base, but he stands pretty well on his own. Up next, you get his data file, a cool illustration by Mazzucchelli right there. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. And finally, he comes with this Batarang. It's cast in this shimmery silver color, and it looks pretty good, all things considered. I definitely think he's a little light on accessories, though. I definitely wish he would have came with an alternate set of hands. I think he definitely needed a left accessory holding hand and a right fisted hand. I think that would have made this figure really good, but as it is, I think he is very light on accessories. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at his head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job at capturing David Mazzucchelli's art. I think that head sculpt really looks like that art. Especially the pale skin tone. And the Year 1 comic Batman's skin tone it's kind of like pale or like a grayish color. And I think McFarlane Toys painted that really well. It looks like they did give a little bit of variation like around the chin area right here. And you do get some sculpted on stubble. But yeah, I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job at capturing what the art in the comic looks like. I love the little wrinkles that's sculpted on the bottom of his cowl right there. That looks really good. I think for the most part, the wired cape looks really good. You know, it's pretty wide and dynamic. But on mine, the stitching just is all jagged. It's making the cape really bunch up. And then on the right side, the wire doesn't go all the way down. So on the left side, the wire goes all the way down, and it doesn't on the right side. Plus, the stitching is really jagged, and it's making the cape bunch up really bad. So I don't know if it's like that on all of them or just mine. But yeah, you can see how bad the stitch work on this particular Batman is. The Bat logo looks really good. It's just painted on, which is what I prefer on Batman figures. I want to say this uses a new body mold. Except for maybe the arms, because I feel like I've seen these sculpted on lines before on another Batman figure. But I think for the most part this uses a new body mold. Just leave a comment down below and let me know if this doesn't. But I'm pretty sure it's new. I know for sure the gloves are new, because you get the nice sculpted wrinkles right there. The spikes on the back here are a little bit different than the other ones we've gotten. And like the knuckles and the sculpt to the back of the glove right here is a little bit different. I also really love the sculpt and paintwork to the pouches on his belt. It's done in this kind of odd yellowish color, and it has a nice black wash over top of it that brings the details out really nicely. You can see the textures and the wrinkles really nice with that paint detail over top of that. That looks really good. And it's even done all the way through on the back. That looks really good. One thing I'm noticing now is he has this really weird line on his trunks in the back. I'm not sure why it's like that. That looks really weird. Good thing that his cape is going to be covering that up though. And the boots have some really good sculpt detail to them, just like the gloves do. The wrinkles are sculpted really nicely, and even the bottoms of his boots are sculpted really nicely. You get the tread on the bottom, and that looks really cool. One thing I forgot to mention with this figure is he's really short. He's a lot shorter than my favorite Batman figures, so that is kind of odd that he's so short, or so much shorter. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. He can look down just a little bit. He can move his head side to side and around very nicely. He has shoulders that can move all the way out. On the left butterfly joint, it spins around really nicely. But the right one does not want to move at all. I might have to try and free that up, because this one has some really good articulation. I think this one might just be stuck from the factory. He has a swivel at the bicep that can move side to side, double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. He has a ball jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back that far. He can crunch forward a little bit. Down here at the waist, I feel like the articulation is kind of hindered because up here at the diaphragm joint, he can move side to side and around really nicely. But down here at the waist, it doesn't want to do any of that. So that is a bit unfortunate. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward very nicely. He can kick back very nicely. He has a decent thigh swivel. Could have been just a little bit better. He has double jointed knees that can move back all the way. Ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, spin all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up that far. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at James Gordon and his accessories. So first up, James comes with your standard DC Multiverse base, but just like with Batman, he can stand pretty well on his own. Up next, he comes with his data file, some more really cool art from the comic right there. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. And finally, he comes with his gun. And I feel like it's a little bit too large. I don't know, I feel like it looks kind of unrealistic. The sculpt of it is actually really good. Like, you get texturing for the wood grain there on the handle, and the gun itself looks really good. But yeah, I feel like it just looks too large to be taken seriously. I feel like it definitely needs to be a little bit smaller. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at his head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a really, really awesome job on this. I think the sculpt of the hair looks really, really good. And the light, it's kind of like a reddish brown paint variation over top of that, brings the details out really nicely. That looks really good. His mustache also gets the same variation over top of it. I think the eyes are printed on, and that looks really good. I'm not going to say it entirely looks like the art in the comic, but I feel like this Commissioner Gordon is generic enough that you can really fit him into any of your McFarlane Batman displays. So yeah, I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this head sculpt. I really love the paint variation that we get on his hair. As for the body mold on this figure, most of the parts are reused from Constantine. I think the only thing that's new is the trigger finger hand and the left knee, which I'm pretty sure this is actually just the Todd McFarlane legs reused, because he had that retooled knee right there. John Constantine's pants had a rip in them right here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is mostly reused from previous figures, which doesn't bother me because I think this is a pretty brilliant reuse for Lieutenant James Gordon. I think that looks pretty good. One thing I forgot to mention is I'm pretty sure in the promo pictures, he didn't come with a gun. I'm pretty sure that they left that out on the promo pictures, but on the finished product, you actually do get the trigger finger hand and the gun. I didn't have the Constantine figure, so I didn't know how well sculpted this trench coat is. I love the textures on it, and I feel like the wrinkles look really realistic. On this figure in particular, it has some really, really awesome paint variation over top of it. You get this very awesome dark brown wash that brings the details out really nicely. I feel like the paintwork especially shines back here where all of these wrinkles are. That wash brings the details out so well. So yeah, I'm really surprised at the paint variation that we get on him. That looks really, really good. I feel like his pants have a slight variation in paint to them. It's really subtle, but right here on the wrinkles on the pants, it looks like there's a light brown kind of paint to it. Like I said, it's very subtle, but it does look like there's some slight variation over top of these wrinkles. The only real complaint that I have with this figure is the hands tend to pop off. When you're spinning them around, they don't, but when you're moving them up and down, they just pop right off. I don't know if it's because the pegs are so thin or what, but yeah, the hands tend to pop off, and so do the feet. I don't think anyone's had that issue, or at least I haven't seen anyone that's had that issue. But yeah, the feet on mine tend to pop off when I'm moving them. They seem to be really loose. I feel like that's an easy fix, but it's really weird that mine's feet want to pop off. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a ball-jointed head that can actually look up all the way. I was afraid because of the collar right here that he might not be able to look up all the way, but he actually can. He can look down all the way. He can move his head side to side. It does feel kind of ratcheted, so it is a little bit tough, but he can move side to side. He can move his head all the way around. He has shoulders that can move all the way out, as well as spin all the way around, though it does make that squeaking noise when you move it around. So he does have full range of motion, but it does make that noise when you move it. He has swiveled the bicep, double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down, though if you do that, they will pop off, or the gun will fall out, and spin all the way around. I also forgot to mention, they did paint his ring on right here. I thought that was a nice touch, as well as some variation over his hand. I did forget to mention those things when I was going over the details of the figure. He has a ball-jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back all the way. He can actually crunch forward just about all the way. I was really surprised at the articulation he has. He can move side to side up here in the diaphragm as well as the waist and all the way around. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward very, very nicely. He can kick back. Actually, you can move his legs all the way around there. He has an excellent thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that can move back all the way. Ankles that are kind of loose that move down all the way, up just a little bit, spin all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up that far. So I have to say, this figure really surprised me. The articulation on him is top notch. He has so much more range of motion than I thought he would. That really surprised me. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, before I do size comparisons with both Lieutenant James Gordon and Batman, I wanted to do some comparisons with just Batman to a couple other Batman figures. So to the left of him is the Black Nightfall Batman figure, and to his right is the Red Platinum Cowardly Lot Batman figure. And the Cowardly Lot Batman is not only taller, but bulkier than him too. And the Nightfall one is just a tad bit taller than this new Year One Batman figure. So yeah, as I said, it really surprised me how short this new Batman figure is. Here they both are next to Catwoman. Here they are next to the Platinum Phygital Joker figure. And finally, here they are next to the Platinum Phygital Two-Face figure. So overall, I would highly recommend picking both of these figures up if you can find them. They've been pretty tricky to find at Walmart. My order got canceled so many times it's not funny on the Walmart app. So I had to end up finding them in the store, which was a chore. But yeah, if you can find these, definitely pick them up, because I think McFarlane Toys did a very good job on both of them. Batman looks like he stepped straight off the page of the comic. I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on him. The only real complaint that I had with him is that he doesn't come with very many accessories. He definitely needed some alternate hands, and he's a bit shorter than other Batman figures. As for Lieutenant James Gordon, he is a top-notch figure in every way. The sculpt is really good, the paint variation really surprised me, and he has top-notch articulation. Like, I really didn't figure he'd have as much articulation as he has. So while I do like both figures, I think James Gordon is definitely the star out of both of these. Yeah, so even though he is my favorite in particular, I would still recommend picking both of these up because they're really awesome. So yeah, if you're able to find these, then definitely pick them up. I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on both of them. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.